takedown. Let's set him back. Let's set him back there in the rod holder. Oh, that's a better one right there. Hey y'all, good morning. It is early, but I'm on the water and ready to go. We're gonna try to get us some bait and go catfishing today, but we gotta get us some bait first because I've come out here with absolutely nothing to bait a hook with. So what I was doing, I launched my kayak over here and I was making my way up into this creek here to go throw the cast net and get us some shad. But I've come across all this on the screen out here toward the entrance of this creek from about 6 foot all the way down to 20 foot. It is just absolutely stacked with fish. So we're gonna throw the net right here and just see what we get. So I'm gonna put the camera here in the chest and we're gonna get right to it, y'all. I wanna see what all that stuff is down there and if it's shad or just something we can legally keep for bait. We're gonna stick it in our bucket here and go catch some catfish with it. So bear with me a second here while I get my net situated. We're just gonna drop it right here under us. Those fish they started about 6 feet it looks like, so I'm gonna let it sink down a good ways. And then we'll pull it up and see what they are. As many as they are, as thick as they are down there, we should be able to get something. Let's see what we got. It is shad, and boy, I didn't get very many. Maybe I need to let it sink down a little bit further. I need a little bit heavier net probably to be getting down there at those depths, but whatever, we're gonna make it work. Now that we know what they are, let's grab a couple of them shad there. They're down in my pedal drive. We'll have a time getting them out. I'm gonna try to get them in the bucket there if we can. We don't need a whole lot of them, but I'd like to have, heck with it. We'll get more here in a second. There goes that one. I'd like to have us enough to catch 20 or 30 fish today if we can get on them. We're gonna do some light tackle catfishing today. And I got a feeling we're gonna have an opportunity for a bunch of fish. So let me circle back around here. These, you can kind of see there on the screen. We're still on some here. Let me just get our net ready here again. I'm gonna let this one sink down a lot further this time. That's a 6 foot net. It's a little cheapo from Walmart. It's 3/8 inch mesh, 6 foot diameter, allegedly 1 pound per foot on the net there, but it don't feel like it's a full pound. So it's gonna be sinking a little bit slower than what it ideally should be. Sometimes these little cheapo nets aren't the actual weight that they advertise, unfortunately. Let's see if we got anything on that throw. I don't think I was really lined up where I need to be because now that screen's bare right there now. We got a couple in there, but we need to make about one throw right over the top of that school and we'd be set. These things get down in that pedal drive right there and they are tough to get out. All right, let's circle back around here. I saw a bunch of them, man. Like I said, I'd planned on coming back up here in this creek. I thought there'd be some up there in the shallows, but they're out here where the creek used to dump out into the river channel here, and there they are again. Okay, you see them right there? Let's throw again. My transducer is right under the kayak, so I'm trying to just throw this thing right here to the side of us. That net is sinking so slow, I fear they're gonna know it's coming and skedaddle. Okay, let's see what we got, if anything, this time. Yeah, I'm gonna bring y'all with me today on a Yeah, that one's a little better right there. Let's see if I can just dump them in the bucket like that. It might be easier. Get them caught on my camera mount up there, get the net caught on the camera. It's always something, man. We're gonna make it work, oh buddy. All right, I got some in there. Let me get those. Let me make another throw here. Let me just circle back and kind of get on the school best I can here. Yeah, y'all, I'm gonna bring y'all on another real catfishing trip today, where I come out here with nothing, no bait. We go through the process of trying to find and catch some bait, and then we just start catfishing. Basically right here, I'm gonna just move out here a little bit off this creek, out toward the channel. And we're gonna just go for a drift today. We're gonna go catfishing. Okay, move over here closer to the bank. I'm seeing some more there on the screen. There it goes. That school right there was behind us. Kayak was going that time a little too fast. I don't know if we got down far enough on them, but we'll see. I don't think I got to them before I ran out of rope and had to start pulling. Well, fiddlesticks, y'all. Grab that shad right there, why don't you? Get that one right there. Get him back in the bucket. There we go. Well, let's make us a couple more throws. We're gonna do it as many times as we need to here. Sometimes you can make one throw and be done. And my last trip, I had to make several throws to get them. Last time, I wasn't really seeing anything. It was kind of just a fish here, fish there type thing, and it took several throws to get enough to catfish with. So I'm just pedaling through here. Try to angle the camera where you can see something and I can still function here. I wish they were up a little closer to the surface. That would make it, if they were up a couple feet closer to the surface, we'd done have a net full, but this net's sinking so slow, it's giving them time to not only see it coming and skedaddle, but also get out from under it as the net goes down on them there. Let me just go down a little bit more. I just passed over those. We may have, throwing the net how we may have split those things up a little bit. And that one big school that we initially saw ain't so big anymore. It's more separate schools. Okay, there's some again. There we go. Oh crap. What a terrible throw you made. I'm worried about, let's just pull that up. That ain't gonna do nothing for us. We gotta do better than that now. I was worried about throwing that dang camera out the chest. Made a terrible throw. Now I'm off that school again. This is a daggone cluster. And you clicked on this video. Do you know you're going to be watching an absolute cluster of a mess? And that's where we're at with it. I should have maybe kept going on up in that creek, but I was like, I see all these bait fish right here. I'm gonna just turn the camera on and let's see what we can do with it, you know? It's just a matter of getting back on them here. I think it's some other fish there too that's in and around them. Those shad are getting terrorized this morning. normally I come catfishing, I like to have bait already acquired. I like to hit the water running, you know. But today we don't. We got to get some bait here before we get started. I do have my ultralight rod. I thought, well, if I don't find any shad, we can throw the ultralight and some gulp minnows or some worms or something and be able to get some bluegill. But if we can get shad, so be it. Oh my gosh. I see all them fish there, and yet I can't get a nary one. Here's what I'm gonna do this time. These look a little bit, there's a big school right here. Okay. There they are on the screen. Let's see if we get anything this time. Boy, I suck, y'all. I'm just getting a handful. I think this net's too light. Some of these shad are smaller too than what I would ideally like. I'll tell you what, let's do. I'm gonna run us on up in this creek a little bit and see if I can find some that are either in shallower water or closer to the surface where we're gonna have a better time with this net. So I'm gonna turn the camera off real quick while I make my run. Y'all don't need to watch me pedal, and then I'll turn it back on when we get up here. So good news, bad news. Good news is I got us some more bait. Bad news is the camera apparently wasn't running for any of it. I don't know if I forgot to hit the button and turn it on, or if I just didn't hit it hard enough, but I was back here in that creek. I was gonna turn the camera off, come back out here, and the damn thing wasn't running. So nevertheless, I'm back out here now. We're ready to start catfishing. I've got us some gizzard shad, which you're not gonna be able to see because the foam, that bucket there, the water really needs to be changed, but we're gonna use them live as long as they're live. And then once they die, we'll use them as cut bait. But I got on some gizzards back there, and I threw the ultralight trying to get some bluegill. Didn't get any, but I got one little tiny yellow bass around a dock back there, so we'll use it at some point today too. But I'm gonna get y'all here in the chest, and let's get us some baits and get to it here. Let's get us a big gizzard on. We'll do a big bait and a small bait here to start. We'll put the gizzard on here first. I'm just gonna nose hook him. Put that right there. Come out a nostril. And there he goes, man. If we get him eat on this light tackle, buddy, we are in for a good time. I am in my Hobie Lynx kayak today, which is a paddleboard style hull, so it really spins on a dime. A fish it don't even take a big fish. They can really get you on the move. And then throw that in the fact that we're using a light tackle today, or lighter tackle, I should say. We're gonna be in for a real treat when we hook into some fish, y'all. We're gonna have us a day. But I've come out here just right, and I'll show you here on the graph here in a second when we get this other bait on. I'll show you where I've set up here to start, but we're just gonna really go on a drift today and cover some water. This one here still alive? Yeah, he's still alive. This is one of our smaller thread fins right here. Open up there, thread fin. Open up, there you go. There we go. All right, he's going down on this one. So we've got for our rigs, basic Carolina rigs. That's a 2-ounce egg sinker swivel. I got 15-pound fluorocarbon down to a 3/0 size shiner hook. These are ugly stick inshore rods here, just a lighter tackle than what I normally use for catfish, which is gonna make it, it's gonna make it fun, y'all. It's gonna make it a good time. So the wind is kind of pushing us up toward this direction, toward the ledge. So let me just move us out here get us where we want to be, then I'm going to show you the graph. I'm going to show you kind of the contours of how we're going to be, the path we're going to follow today. And we're going to just take off and go and see what happens. I'm hoping with the shad being out deeper and more toward the channel here, I'm hoping that that's, in theory, that's where the cat should be too. So when the kayak gets settled here, I'm going to lower our baits down a little further. We're 40 feet deep. And you see right here is the entrance of that creek. The old original creek entrance before they made the reservoir. We're going to take this path down through here. We're just going to follow this right on the edge of the contour, right where it would start to come up. And it comes up on this flat here. And of course the creek channel in there. But we're going to be out here in the channel and just follow that path all the way down river here. Now I'm gonna see the wind. It's kind of blowing upstream and toward this creek behind us in that direction. And so it may be offsetting the current, possibly. We got a little bit of current flow this morning. But if the wind offsets the current, what I'll have to do is just basically get on the pedals here and just pedal us and kind of troll a little bit, and we'll just troll it. In fact, I'm going to get a spun here, that way I can more easily do that. But yeah, y'all, we're going to try to have some fun today. Light tackle catfishing. I did this on my last trip out and had a blast. I mean, it was so much fun. So we're going to try it again today. Bait, hopefully we'll run through everything we have. I got a few gizzards, of course that one little yellow bass, and then the thread fins that we had gotten first thing. I saw, of course you saw it on the screen there, the shad that were down in the schools deeper. As I made my way back in that creek, I thought I'll find some back there in the shallows flipping that I can throw on, and I never saw anything. Once I got about, I was seeing shad near bottom all the way up to about 12 feet deep in that creek. But once I got shallower than that, there was nothing. It was just devoid of fish. I went ahead and went on to the back and made some throws, and there was one little patch of grass back there, and that's where I got them gizzard shad. I made a few throws, got some of those. But around the docks and stuff, I mean, I was throwing, I'm gonna get some bluegill. Nothing. I mean, there just wasn't nothing. But, well, that one little yellow bass, but I mean, it was just, it's like everything's pulled out here toward the entrance of this creek and toward the channel. It's like there's just nothing going on in the shallows. So hopefully that's a good sign of, you know, things will be, hopefully the bite will be a little bit more active out here in the channel, and I'm gonna have to pay attention because we're up. I'm about to get us snagged right here. I got to get us out here off this ledge. Y'all pay attention to that graph today. The wind is going to have us on the move. The nice thing about this kayak, this particular model, and I absolutely love about it, is the fact when you get a big bite, a big fish, it honestly don't even take a big fish, but the fish just tows you all over creation, man, because it's just, this hole, the hole design, it just glides over the water. It's like, imagine a leaf floating on the water. The wind blows, it blows every which way. There's no resistance at all. So fish can really take you on a ride. The downside of having that type of hull is when the wind is blowing, it will play havoc with you too. And the wind is blowing just enough out here this morning that it is going to be just a little bit of a nuisance today. So I'm just going to have to keep us kind of off this ledge as we drift down, and hopefully we can just drift and not have to actively troll downstream. I'd like for our baits to be down there really vertical under us, and sometimes when you get turned to troll and stuff, the movement of the kayak with the water resistance on your line, it brings your baits up in the water, and I want them down there just off the bottom. I want them right in the catfish's face as we drift along. So I'm hoping, man, we catch a bunch of fish today. I got a bunch of fish on my last trip. And of course that was a different section of river than this, but still, we're gonna try off this section here today And that's my plan coming out here, just get us some bait first thing and then start catfishing right here where we're at. So I'm just gonna put the camera here in the chest, and we're gonna roll with it, man. Whatever happens, happens. You're gonna see it just like you were here. Except for the part where I was netting the gizzards, because the camera apparently wasn't running. I don't know what the hell went wrong. I must have just not hit the button. Thought I did and didn't. But I'm just back here talking away while I'm throwing and making the cast and stuff around dock. I'm just jibber jabbering on, and camera ain't never rolling. I mean, just professional YouTuber here, folks. I'll get better at it someday. Probably not, but maybe. I'd like to say that's the first time I've ever done that, but it ain't. I've screwed up like that in the past before too. But it's a nice morning out here. It's cloudy. There is a chance of some rain, but I don't think it's going to be no monsoons or anything like that. So we're just going to take advantage of the, I won't say cooler weather, but less hot weather here, and fish a few hours this morning until either we get hot or until we run out of bait. And I would imagine them shad will probably stay alive maybe another half hour or so. The thread fins I had in there, because they wasn't very many of them, and because I turned the bubbler on pretty quickly, they were doing okay. But when you throw them gizzards in there and they start shedding their slime and their scales and stuff, they get that pH changed in the water there. And you see all that foam on top, and it kills them off pretty quick. And it's not going to be easy for me to switch out that water. One, switch it out because I'm physically setting in the kayak right now. But two, just with that particular, that's just a plain bucket. I ain't got a lid on it or nothing, so we'd probably lose most of our bait if we tried to switch it out. So we're just gonna roll with it. I don't mind using the cut bait, honestly. But while they're still alive, I want to put them on there alive and see what happens with it. Never hurts to have some live baits. They're down there struggling like a dying shad, because I mean they literally are a dying shad, and you put it in front of a catfish and that's an easy meal. Easy to trigger a bite with a dying shad that they're already, if they're near this creek here, what they're doing is they're going to move up in that creek periodically to feed, then retreat back out here to the deeper water here in the channel. Oh, there goes our big gizzard. Look at it, buddy. There goes our big gizzard, man. There it goes. He got eaten. Every bit of him got eaten. Oh, we're off to the races now. Oh, did he come off? Oh my gosh. He's gone. We got him eat, and he's gone. Dang. Y'all done botched the first one, man. How'd y'all do that? I can't take y'all nowhere. Here, grab us this other big gizzard here before he dies off. You know what, we had the other one nose hooked. Let's go through the back on this one. Get them scales off there. Let's go through the back on this one. See if he'll get hooked a little better. I got these smaller hooks tied on, and that could be to our detriment. I think the shad will do a little better with the smaller hooks. But, normally on my regular catfishing trips, I'm using 10-aught size hooks. There we go. All right. Boy, that was a nice takedown, though, wasn't it? These lighter action rods, I mean, it gets the heart up a little bit, heart rate up, man. That's part of why I think I enjoyed it so much the other day when I went. It was just And I've done some light tackle, or lighter tackle, I should say, catfishing before, but I'm always hesitant with it because I'm always worried that the day I'm using the lighter tackle stuff, the day I'm going to catch that monster fish I've been waiting my whole life for. And I'm going to end up breaking off or something. And what happens is if I take a lighter action rod out with me and I've got my heavier gear, I just don't end up using the lighter action stuff. So I know myself. So when I went out the other day, I only took the light action rods. Today I'm out here. These are the only rods I got with me other than my ultralight to catch us some bait. Like I'm not going to bring the heavier stuff because then I just won't use these at all. I'll talk myself out of it. And, you know, and I think maybe over time, especially if I keep having as much fun with this as what I did on the last trip, I will maybe get over that irrational, I mean, I don't know if it's an irrational fear that you're going to lose that monster fish. But I mean, when I go ultralight fishing and I hook into something that's bigger than what the tackle is designed for, sometimes you are going to break off or lose it or whatever, you know, things happen. When you're using lighter tackle, the fish have a real chance. Unlike when you're using the heavier stuff and you're just pretty much winching fish in. Oh, here goes our other. Something had bumped him. Or he got a little lively on the hook one. There's some fish right here on the screen. 43 feet right here. Well, that was a nice takedown though, wasn't it? We're just had baits in the water a few minutes out here and already had a dang nice takedown. Who knows what it was? Could have been a cat, could have been a striper, could have been something else. But you're using, I talked about this a little bit on the last trip there where I was doing the light tackle stuff, but when I'm using my heavier catfish gear and big pieces of cut bait, you're very limited on what you're going to catch. Here goes our gizzard again. Look at our gizzard. Look at our big gizzard, man. There it goes. Nice takedown, buddy. Nice takedown. He got gobbled up. All right. Big gizzard's getting it done here. He keeps wanting to head this direction. I hope he don't get over there another line. Y'all tell him to go the other way. I don't think he's going to be that big a fish, though. Nice takedown, but he didn't really take off running with it. Is that a flathead? Oh, it is. We got a little flathead. Well, how about that for fish number one? Oh, he just spit up our shad, too. It's sinking out right there. I was kind of hoping we might get that back. I'd like to reuse that. Even if it was dead, we could have cut it up. Come here, Flatty. Oh, oh. Well, he's a small flathead for that big gizzard, but nevertheless, cute little thing, ain't he? He's kind of a yellowish brown. Probably not showing up very good with it still being so cloudy out here. See you, buddy. There you go. All right, man. Well, hey, we got the skunk out. We got a little bit of redemption over that lost fish. The one we lost was definitely bigger than that little flathead, but hey, is what it is. Let's get us another one here out of the bucket. Okay. I don't know how many more gizzards we got. I didn't get a lot of them, but actually, let's hook this one through the back again. Got him a little Hooked him a little deeper than I'd like to have there, but it's all right. He wasn't doing too good anyway. Down he goes. All right. We still got our thread fins in there too. We'll certainly make use of, but the bigger gizzard shad, that's going to be probably the better bait for us here. I would assume, you never know, but I would assume I got more confidence in the bigger gizzard shad than I do the thread fins, at least for bigger fish anyway. Yeah, man, that's awesome. And again, the takedown on the rod, my gosh, man, that even that small flathead was awesome. Love it. I'm going to end up getting into this lighter tackle stuff, even if it does cost me a big fish someday. I didn't do it today, but I am going to need to bring a net in the future, because we hook into a real monster and I've just got that 15-pound test. You go to grab your line and that fish thrashes, that's when you're at the greatest risk of losing it, breaking off. That's what I was about to say when that fish hit. When I go out and I'm catfishing with my heavier tackle, I'm using big pieces of cut bait or big live baits, you know what you're going to catch, right? Like I'm either going to catch blue cats, I'm going to catch flatheads, maybe I get lucky and catch a striper. That's it. When you're doing this and you're using lighter line, smaller hooks, and in some cases today we're going to be using smaller baits, anything's possible. Yeah, we'll probably catch catfish. Oh, our gizzard again. Got him. Something's got him. Oh, he's headed out that way, folks. Did he just let him go? He just let him go. Dang. Something had him. Here, let me just hook this thing a little bit shallower. Oh, he ain't doing good. I'm gonna send him down like that. He ain't even wiggling now. I think he's dead. He's wiggling a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and send him down as is. I was fearful I had him hooked a little too deep for that small hook. But anyway, you're using the heavier stuff, bigger cut bait, heavy tackle. You're very limited on what you're going to catch, but the tackle we're using today, the lighter line, smaller hooks, smaller baits, man, we probably will catch mostly catfish. Stripers will be more likely. Largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, drum. Like there's just so many more possibilities for us to catch on things that will eat our setup today versus what I'm normally throwing. But, you know, in fairness, when I do go out most of the time, I'm going after large catfish. And I'm using the bigger pieces of cut bait and the larger hooks and heavier line because I'm going after the trophy class fish. And when you're going after trophy class fish, honestly, you don't want to be reeling in all the time with smaller fish or other species, right? Because that's taking your baits out of the water when they could be down there potentially catching the fish that you're after. But coming out here today, like I want to catch, and if we could catch a huge catfish on this tackle, that would be freaking amazing. But even that small flathead we caught a few minutes ago was a lot of fun on the lighter stuff. So whatever we get today, whatever species we get today, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a dang good time. So I'm not too particular today. Whatever happens, happens. I'm going to lower this one down a little bit. In fact, I'm actually going to reel him in, make sure he's still on there. He's not. I'm glad I checked that. Y'all been floating around with a bare hook down there. I think when he got bumped a little while ago, he might have just got taken off. See if we got any more that's alive. I want to go ahead, give me that other gizzard right there that's alive. Give me that thing. I'm going to put on the other big gizzard here while we got him. Can't be losing the bait now. We ain't got a lot of it today. Yeah, let's hook him like that. Down he goes. Another big gizzard. All right, man. This one, unlike the other one over there on the left rod, is at least still wiggling right here. There we go. All right, he's down there. Need to see how many gizzards we got left. We may, at some point today, if we run out of bait quickly, and y'all keep getting your hook stripped, it's going to happen quickly. We may have to go over the shoreline and throw the ultralight some more. Because we drift down this side of the ledge here, there ain't gonna be no more creeks for us to go up into, I don't believe. Memory serves me. There's some more flats. If we see some shad flipping on the flats, we might could go up there and throw, but probably just have to work the shoreline and try to get some bluegill, and hopefully there would be more bluegill out here in the channel, and because there wasn't nothing back there in the back of the creek. So I'm hoping they're out here too. We may have to do that though if we run out of bait here in a little while. We didn't get much, and we got enough at least to get started, but I didn't want to waste any more time. It was taking so long. I didn't want to waste any more time because, you know, we're right here at oh, something's after him. Something got after that one. But I didn't want to waste any more time. He's after him again. Eat that thing, buddy. Eat him. Nah, I think he's got him now. He does. Oh, I think he just come free. I think I'm just pulling the bait up now. Oh, bait's, dadgummit. We're having a time here, folks. Look how the bait is. Got foul hook somehow. We're having an ordeal here. Let's try that again. I'm seeing some fish right there on the screen. I got these shiner hooks last winter for trolling the live baits. And so I had them. They're probably not the best appropriate hook for what we're doing here. I probably need to get some smaller circle hooks for this. I'll pick some up next time I'm at the tackle shop. Oh, right here. Look at him. He got a little lively. Something bumped him. There's a bunch of marks on the screen right there, though. Oh, look right here. I didn't even feel him, but something. Let's pick up on him. Let's set the hook there and see if we got him actually hooked. This time he's coming straight up. No, that one got lively too. We might be about to double. We are about to double here, folks. I'm gonna work on the one in the hand that I didn't. He's come off. Dadgummit. I need to just, this thing here's about ruined. Let me set him up here. We'll end up using him again as cut bait, but let's put us another live one on right fast. Actually, you know what I want to do? Well, that yellow bass will live longer than the shad will. Oh, he got it now. We gotta pull up. Y'all, we've barely covered any water at all. There is a pile of fish. I'm gonna get this one up here and then I'm gonna show you the pile of fish we're sitting on right now. There is an absolute, I mean, from 30 feet to 48 feet, that's a small cat. Small cat right here, but look at the screen. Look at this. If that's all catfish, man, we're gonna be cleaned out of bait in no time. But we're gonna be sitting here whacking them one after another while we run out of bait anyway. Come here, kitty, let's get you unhooked. I wanna catch your friends down there. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and put that yellow bass on. He's a little bit more hardy of a bait, so I was gonna leave him in that bucket because the shad are gonna die first. But fish like that may possibly leave that yellow bass alone long enough to get eaten by a bigger one, if there is some bigger ones down there. Now I can't get that yellow bass back in the net. There he is. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're still right on top of him, man. This is, let me go through his back here too. Get the scale off there. Yeah, buddy, you just go down there and wiggle like that. Hopefully he's big enough that a tiny cat won't mess with him, but you never know. He's not that big. We'll have to put probably a dead bait on the other one here in a second when we get this one down. There we go. Let me get myself caught up. I'm trying to, the sinker got to the bottom before he did. Okay, there it is. Now I'm gonna raise it up there and put him, he's sitting down there now, a couple feet off bottom. Now let's get, let me just grab this one right here. This is a smaller shad here. I'm just gonna put him on there whole. Run that one through the nostril again there on that one. Send him down real quick. I just want to get something down there because we're on top of so many fish. I actually need to move us a little bit to the right. Get us back closer to that ledge, but it's just so many fish right there. Who knows if they're all cats or what size they are and what, but we're kind of getting away from them a little bit as we've drifted out, but closer to that ledge where we was at, man, they were thick. Let me just, oh. Our yellow bass got a little lively over there. Let me just get us over here a little bit closer. Oh man, y'all, this is fun, y'all. Okay, we're getting back over here closer to them now. Look at that. I may have to lower things down a little more. We're dropping off in depth. It's going to get progressively deeper here as we make our way down. Oh, something got him. Oh, buddy, something buried it. Something buried it. Something ate that yellow bass. They just gobbled him up. Oh. I hope whatever it is nice enough to leave him on the hook too. Even if he's dead, I'd like to use him as cut bait. But beggars can't be choosers, folks, as the saying goes. I don't think it's going to be a very big fish. I don't think it is. Hell of a takedown. I don't think it's going to be he's bigger than the last one. Still just I'll call him a larger dink here. He gobbled him up though. He wanted him some live yellow bass today. Come here, kitty. Come here. Yeah, he's actually probably, call him a fun sizer in length, but he's just kind of skinny. And this right here, when we hook into a big one, doing this is going to be the challenge of landing them before when they're thrashing like that and you got a firm grip on your line, that's when you're at risk of getting broke off with the lighter tackle stuff. So I may have to, as bad as I hate using a net in a kayak, I may have to break down and bring a big net with me when we do this. Come here. Oh, big takedown. Let's set him back. Let's set him back there in the rod holder. Oh, that's a better one right there. That's a better one right there. I'm trying to land that other fish and this one just got buried. That's a better fish. Oh man, y'all. Oh, buddy. Oh, he's running over there toward that other one too. I hope they don't get wrapped up in each other. He's spinning the whole kayak around, man. That was on that threadfin shad dead we had down their hole. This one's a better quality fish right here. This one's definitely bigger than the other one. We are on just a pile of fish, and they're staged out here right in front of this creek. I have to imagine with that much food, them big schools of shad kind of out toward the entrance of that creek. They're coming out here in the deeper water and moving up and eating periodically. This one's going to take a little while. I'm going to take my time. Again, with the lighter tackle, lighter lure, or lighter line length. Don't want to try to horse them. Can't horse them. We're just going to let him tow me around a little bit here. Y'all get you sack lunch here because we're going to need it. We're going to be at this one a little while. This one's a better quality. Our other friend over here, he's just gonna have to wait a minute to get unhooked. Buddy. Y'all, hey, go home and get my net for me, would you? One of yous run to the house and get it. So when we get this thing up here, we'll have a better chance of getting hold of him. He feels good. I can tighten down just a smidge on him. It's a blue cat. He's rolling down there. He's rolling every which way when he does that. Right there's some bubbles coming up from him. Yeah, these old ugly sticks here, he's got it bent in half, man. Absolutely bent in half. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, that's exciting, y'all. I don't have to worry about getting spooled in this situation because, I mean, one, blue cat fights are pretty much straight up and down. But we can also be in the kayak, like we can take off pedaling if we had to. Like if we had a big striper make a huge run or something, we could just try to go chase it down. This thing, buddy, we just gonna take our sweet time. I wish one of y'all would get this other fish unhooked and drop another bait down, but I can't reel in but one at a time anyhow, so ain't gonna do us no good. Oh, we got him turned in. Back down he goes. I felt him turn and then he went right back down. We'll definitely need to check our leader when we get this one up here, make sure it's still adequate. Not all tore up, because these catfish, man, they've got a sandpaper-like texture in their mouth, and so your leader, that's part of the reason why I use the heavier leaders that I do when I'm going after trophy cats, is that the heavier monofilament will keep from losing as many break-offs and stuff because of the abrasion. If I get my words out, I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited here. We get this one done, we're gonna pedal back up and go through that big school of whatever these, I guess they're all catfish. We're gonna go through them again before we drop the other baits down. This one right here might be front camera worthy though, folks. On that threadfin shad, the smallest bait we've used so far today. And that's what he eat. Nice to have a big hook up here after. I think the first one, that first bite we got, I think it was a big fish. Just what I felt of him briefly there before we lost him. But this one for sure is. As we get later in the fight, I might try tightening the drag down a little bit more. But I don't want to right now while he's still got some brimstone and fire in him. Don't want him surging and us having a drag too tight and snapping that line. I want to get a look at this thing. Truth be told, with the lighter tackle, you know, it's harder to judge how big a fish is, especially with the takedowns and all. I mean, everything looks like a big takedown from the start, but it's hard for me to judge how big he actually is. So I don't know. I don't really know what we have. He may not end up being as big as what I thought, or he could be way bigger. I don't know. This is awesome, man. Lighter tackle rod, 15-pound leader, 3/0 size shiner hook, and a probably what, 3-inch threadfin shad, 4-inch maybe. He's still down there near bottom, folks. We're 55 feet deep here where we're currently drifting over. Tighten down just a smidge. So I want to try to turn him if I can. I'm worried he's getting over here closer to the shore. He's going to find some log or some tree down there to run us into, and then we're going to be in trouble because we sure ain't going to be able to pull him out of it. We need him to swim up is what we need to do. He wants to stay down. Either way, this is awesome. This is absolutely awesome. I can totally get into this stuff, folks. I like ultralight. You know me, well, regular viewers, you know me. I love me some ultralight fishing. I do it all the time. But to take the same concept for catfishing, it's pretty awesome, man. I'm still bitter from a few years ago when I done it and I lost a monster. I hooked up with two at the same time. One on the light tackle, one on the heavy tackle. I landed the one on the heavy tackle, he was huge. Got the video on my channel. The one on the light tackle, I broke off. I'm still bitter about that. It scarred me. Got a little PTSD from it. All right, we're making progress here. I'll tell you this too, we got several bites right away in front of that creek. We're making progress on him now. He's coming up. He's about to throw in the towel here, folks. I'm seeing some more bubbles right here. Those are some big bubbles coming up too. Oh, that's a nice one, buddy. That is a nice fish right there. There he goes. There he goes again. That is a nice one. Oh, buddy. He's every bit as big as I thought he would be. On that small shad. We didn't even cut that shad. Just stuck him on their hole just to get something down there. And boom. No, oh, buddy, look at that. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Y'all, I need a net. I need a net in a big way. Y'all run to the house and get that net for me, would you? Be a friend, be a team player out here. I can't get y'all to do nothing for me. Goodness gracious, what are we gonna do with this thing? All right, let's get my glove here. Get it on. I'm so fearful he's gonna thrash when I grab that line and he's going to be gone. Oh man. Let's see if we can see where he's hooked at here. The deeper he's hooked, the more likely we are to break off, because that line's going to be rubbing on his mouth more. If he's hooked on the outside, we'll have a better opportunity. Oh man, that is a good one, y'all. That is a really, really, really good fish. Man. A part of me wants to put him back in the rod holder, let him tire himself out a little more while we unhook the other one. But sure as I do that and we lose him, I'm going to be so upset. Oh, buddy. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we can do. Oh, he's hooked right there on the top. Okay, so at least our line don't appear to be rubbing. Okay, all right, let's just open that mouth. You open that mouth, I'm gonna snatch you. I got him. I got him, folks. I got him up here in this dang paddle board. Look at that. Oh, buddy. I freaking got him, man. I got him, buddy. That small shad, he gobbled it up. I can't get the hook out. There it goes. Oh, buddy. How about that for a light tackle catfish? Let me get my camera mount up here. Y'all, I want you to take a picture or two of me and this fish, would you? Oh, buddy. Oh, don't do it. Don't flop out. Don't flop out. Okay, I got him again. Whew. We about lost him. Here, I gotta lower that thing down a little bit. Oh, buddy. Nice. Oh, I love it. Oh. Let me set him down one more time here. I need to get positioned better for the light. I don't know how good a picture I'm gonna get in this thing. Bear with me just a second here. I wanna try to turn where I'll be, hopefully have the dark background behind me and the light in front of me and hopefully get a better picture. Nice. That's a good fish. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let him go, get our other one undone, and then we're going right back upriver to them fish again. Oh, we'll see you, buddy. There he goes. Whew, fist pump worthy all freaking day, man. That's awesome. Golly bum, what an awesome fish. That's a good fish any day of the week, any time of the year. Oh man, I get pumped over fish that big, and to do it on this tackle, in this kayak, y'all, I love it. This one right here though, this one right here just ain't quite as, he's a larger dink. He'll get him some front camera time since that's where the camera's at. You got lucky, fish. You wouldn't have got front camera time otherwise. Y'all. Okay. All right, quickly. I mean, we were on a pile of fish up there, and if they're all, I mean, we got the little flathead and that small blue there, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're all small fish, which is why I wanted to put the yellow bass on, right? Because I thought it might weed out possibly some of the smaller fish. Give us a chance if there was a bigger one down there, but of course the bigger one did hit. So now I'm wondering, like, is there more big fish together up here? That big school we saw, is it a lot of big fish? Let's just run right back up here and find out. Oh, buddy, that's freaking awesome. I'm shaking, y'all. That was so much fun. You know, this style of fishing, the added element of the fact that you could lose that fish at any time. He could break you off at any moment, straighten the hook out. God, it almost gives you a little bit extra adrenaline rush while the fight's going on. As crazy as that sounds. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, that's awesome. Let's just keep moving until we see them fish again. If we do, they may have moved on, but they were farther on upriver here. We drifted down a good ways fighting that fish. They were about, I think, 48, 50 feet deep there. They're out off this ledge kind of in front of that creek. Y'all, that's so much fun. I'm just looking at that graph as we make our way up. That's just a little 2D graph, just a little cheap Lowrance Hook 5. I bought a map card for it. It allegedly come with whatever their version of map card is pre-installed, but it sucked. It didn't really show much. So I ended up buying a Navionics chip to go in there. But I'd got that graph on sale at Bass Pro over I think it was around Father's Day when they was running that sale. And I got it to put on this kayak, and of course, you know, I've covered that in some other videos where how I've rigged all this up here to kind of keep it out of my way, and the cords and wires and everything. But yeah, we got to come off here. We're moving up on this ledge now. But that graph's good enough for what I need. I mainly need to know the contours, depth, and speed. That's most important to me. Being able to see fish under us is nice, like when we went through there before. But the contours is what's going to help us find them schools of fish to begin with. So having that chip in there is the biggest help. And then depth and speed, of course, you know, if you're drifting, suspend drifting like we're doing today, we need to be able to monitor that depth so that we can not get snagged up and keep our baits near bottom without being on bottom. I ain't seeing them no more. They may have moved on. Question is, did they go upriver or down? We'll go up here to we'll go up to right here and start our drift back down. I don't know where they've got off to. We'll go back up here to the old original creek mouth and then start drifting down again, because I don't see them now. We're running up on that ledge though. Let me come out a little bit. Yeah, I'm not seeing that big school. They may have moved on, but in a kayak, unfortunately, you can't really move. You can't move too fast, go out looking. I'm moving 2.9 miles an hour right now up against the current, 3 miles an hour. at just a, you know, a sustainable pedaling pace. Yeah, I'm not seeing them now. Maybe they went down. Like I said, it gets deeper the farther downriver you go here before then it starts to rise back up. So maybe they went down, or the hell, they could have went up in that creek to feed too. Either way, we're gonna start fishing right here in front of the old creek mouth. Okay, let me get you all back in the chest here. Let's get our, do we have any shad that are still alive in there? So we can turn off our bubbler. At least do that. But that other shad was dead. Here, let's see what we got here. Well, they're all wrapped up. Hell, that's probably why half of them was dead right there. They were all wrapped up in that net. Come out of that net there, dead fish. Come on. Play hide and seek with me. Okay. Well, let's just throw a couple of them back in the water there. Now, let's check our line here and our hook. Hook it didn't get straightened out. It actually feels okay, maybe a little bit. It's a little scuffed up there, midway up. Probably from where it was rolling, but we're gonna roll with it for now. I think it's okay for the most part. Y'all, I'm still shaking. My hands are still shaking, y'all. I'm still shaking. Let's lower this down. Get back over here as the wind pushes us. Boy, I tell you, it started out this morning, a complete cluster, trying to net some shad and get some bait, but boy, we've recovered well. It ain't never pretty with me, folks. It never is. But I always find a way to get it done. That's just part of it. All right, that line there feels okay. Hook looks okay. Run it through. Okay. Well, we're back in the game. Y'all, that was so much fun. I can't get over it. That was so much fun. We already getting hit. We already got hit on that rod over there. It got thumped. I wonder if that's into the flathead. Let me get this one set. Let's jerk that one's jaw. I think that might be a flathead. I felt a thump and just a slow takedown. I wonder if that ain't a small flathead. He ain't very big, whatever he is. But I mean, as soon as we got it down here in front of that creek, he was on it, man. 40 feet deep here. No, it wasn't either. It was just a small blue. The way I felt the thump, it felt like a flatty, but oh, he ain't even hooked in the mouth. I wonder if he come up there and rubbed up against it, smacked it with his tail or something. Either way, we got him. He didn't get the, you're a dumb fish. You didn't get it in your mouth. You dumb fish. There we go. Got our line all slimed up. I ought to throw him down there for bait. Should have left him hooked. Can't believe though, that biggest cat ate our small. I told you, man, you put a bait in front of them, you're always gonna have a chance at getting them to eat, but of the baits we've had out, I would have thought the bigger gizzard shad would be the ones that had the better opportunity than these little thread fins. All right, I'm gonna get this one reset and I'm gonna have to pedal us out a little bit. The wind is just blowing enough to push us up on that ledge. Thankfully though, the current is still moving us downstream, so we're not having to troll. I'm just having to basically keep us off this ledge. I want to be right on the edge of it, but not up on it where we're running up shallower. We come to a stop here. I'm gonna lower this one down. How many more shad we got in that bucket? We've gone through some bait real fast here. Well, I've had the camera going almost an hour since we got out here and started fishing. We've already got several fish. Talk about a productive day. Okay, there we go. I'll go ahead and lower this one down too while I'm at it. This time of year though, you know, we're in August now. It's late summer. Most all of the fish are off the nest by now. There'll still be some stragglers that spawned late that are still on it, but most of them they've spawned, they've come back out to the channel, they're roaming, they're looking for food, they're putting their weight back on. That one we got had put a bunch of its weight back on. But, you know, this time of year, you're getting into the time of year now where every day you go out, you got a chance at catching big fish again. And the bite just gets better from here on up through the fall. So it's kind of an exciting time to fish. This time of year, the biggest challenge this time of year is just the heat. But this morning, see, it's super cloudy out here and whatnot. And that's helping keep the temperature down, keep it comfortable so we can get some time in this morning. Got some old man in a boat over here behind us. I don't know what he's doing. Looks like he's trolling for something back there. Yeah, we'll just drift on down through. The screen, man, we went from being on 1 million fish to nothing right here. Who knows where they went? We'll just drift on down and hopefully run into them again. And if we don't, that'll be okay too, because we'll probably run into some more fish. That's another reason why this is my favorite way to fish. It's my favorite way to fish for a few reasons. One, you cover a lot of water. And you know, this time of year, fish that are out, when they move out, when they're done spawning, they move back out to the main channel, man, they could be anywhere. They cover a lot of water going up down these ledges and stuff. So the more water you can cover, the more likely you are to come in contact with one or school of them. So that's number one. Two, I enjoy this style of fit, whether it's, you know, light tackle today or just the heavier stuff I do. I like suspend fishing with lines vertical directly under the kayak. It's the most intense takedowns. It's the best battle because you're on the shortest line possible. Like, it's just the most fun way to catch them. So that's number two. Number three, doing this style of fishing is the most minimal gear needed. I don't need a motor. I don't need a motor battery, obviously. I don't need an anchor. I need a basic graph and a couple rod holders and something to store my bait, whether it's a cooler if we're using cut bait or, hell, a 5-gallon bucket today, doing what we're doing. That's all you need. So it's bare minimum gear and equipment. It's the most fun possible. And you can just get out and enjoy a day in the kayak and just having a blast. Because even when you're not catching fish, like even right now, you know, we're not getting any bites right now. Hell, we're still out here floating around in the kayak going down Tennessee River. I mean, that's fun in itself. So it's just awesome, man. This style of fishing, it's not the best style of fishing to do. It's not the best technique year-round. But in my opinion, this time of year, the post-spawn, late summer, early fall period, that's where this technique, this suspend drifting, that's where it really shines. This is the time of year to do it and have the best chance of not only getting good numbers of fish, but getting some big fish too, as we've evidenced today with both. So, let me see what this. Okay, that guy's turning to go up in that creek now. He's making sure he wasn't right behind us or something. You know I don't like talking on camera when people are around. It's okay for you to watch the video and eavesdrop on me talking to myself, but I don't want random people on the water eavesdropping while I talk to myself. I'm weird like that. Always have been. I think, though, me and that guy behind me are the only ones on the water today. The launch I used, there was nobody there first thing this morning, so unless some people have showed up afterwards, we're pretty much got the place to ourselves today. But I'm filming this on a Wednesday, so usually you fish morning hours during the week. You don't have a lot of boat traffic anyway, and now especially all the kids are back to school. Even parents taking vacations and stuff, you don't have to see them out in their pontoon boats and wakeboard boats and all that crap. So I'm ready to catch another fish though, y'all. The fish we've gotten have gotten me spoiled here first thing, and now we're going through a little lull here. I need to see what we got going. We still got that other shad. I'm going to cut him up at some point. Another big gizzard and some thread fins in there. So we got a little bit of bait left. There's something splashing out there in front of us. If we have to, though, what we'll do is just try the shoreline over here and throw a gulp or a worm or something. Try to get some bluegill. If the bluegill, if they ain't back in that creek, and they wasn't, based on what I threw around the docks, and I didn't throw long, maybe 10 minutes or so. That you throw 10 minutes and don't get a single bluegill, that tells me they ain't nothing back there. They've probably pulled out to the first cover outside of the creek, and which would be along the shoreline here. So we should be able to at least get some bluegill here, worst case scenario. And I'll tell you, last month or so, and of course the last month we have been dealing fish, some of the fish were still on the nest and stuff, but bluegill outperformed every other bait I threw. I mean, the skipjack's been tough to get this year, but when I've gotten skipjack, I've been using white bass a lot because they've been pretty easy to get lately. But bluegill has outperformed it all. And I'm not a big fan of bluegill. I mean, I use it. I've caught a bunch of fish on it, get numbers of fish on it. But I don't catch a lot of big fish on it. And so because of that, it's just not something, it's more of a bait of convenience for me because they're readily available and pretty easy to catch, and I enjoy fishing for them. So they're kind of a convenience bait for me, but they're not a bait that when I hit the water to catfish with that I have a great deal of confidence in. But over the past month, the bluegill have been, not only have caught me more fish, but they've caught my bigger fish too. Today, I think the fish we just got there earlier, that big one, I think, was probably the biggest one I've got since the spawn started. So we were due for a big fish. And that one there, buddy, was he not only had the length, but he had some weight on him too. Pulled him up, I was like, what am I going to do? Because I told the story there in the last video there, the last light tackle trip, but I I'll give you a quick Cliff Notes version of it in case you didn't watch or whatever, didn't hear it. But when I first got my live scope, which I don't have it on this kayak, I hardly even use it anymore. When I first got it, I was out there tinkering with it and stuff, and I went out and I threw it what I thought was a crappie, and it turned out to be like a 25, 30 pound blue cat. And so I'd hooked him on my ultralight rod with a little jig. And I fought that thing, fought the thing. And I finally wore him down and got him up to the side of the kayak. And again, I didn't have a net. And it's like, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Like you have to grab your line to be able to get the fish to you to grab him. And of course, as soon as I grabbed that line, it was game over when he moved, and it was gone. So, yeah, then we got this fish up here. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? Like, as soon as I grab the line, like, he's going to thrash and it's game over. Thankfully, it all worked out. That was so fun, though. I mean, that fish right there on my heavier tackle that I normally use, he would have been fun. But that fight would have been over in 2 or 3 minutes on my regular tackle. Whereas with the lighter stuff here, I don't know how long it took. It seemed like forever. Which there'll be an argument to be made. And of course, I don't have comments turned on this channel because it's a cesspool, but if I did, I guarantee you people in the comment box will be lighting me up over playing that fish out as long as I did. And some fish, the longer you play them out, oh, we just got tapped. He's back after it again. Watch this rod go down. We're about to get us another one. It's happening, folks. We're getting us another one. It's going to go down. He's slowly swimming with it. I kind of want to pick up on it and just jerk the hook. These shiner hooks, unlike a circle hook, we can actually set them. Well, that's probably why I shouldn't be setting the hook. I just pulled it away from him. He probably got our bait too, he did. He's robbed us. One of you's called the law. I want you to call the law right now. Dang it. Oh, no, okay, he's on this one now. I wonder if that one there didn't just get robbed too. Dang it. We can't be losing them baits now. We ain't got enough of them to. Let's put this gizzard on. I'm gonna put him on hold. We got that other one up there, it's all chewed up. We're gonna put him on there in pieces in a little bit, but right now, let's put that one on hold. I don't even remember what I was talking about now. I don't even remember. I completely lost my train of thought. Y'all probably didn't want to hear what I had to say anyhow. Let's see if we still got bait on here. I hope we do. Nope, robbed. Dang. Bunch of thieves down there. Well. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about playing the fish out. That's what it was. So yeah, some fish, if you play them out too long, they will have a hard time. They'll die. Striped bass, prime example. Especially if you're fishing in warm water. Like, you got to get them things up, landed, and released quickly to have a chance at them surviving. Catfish, on the other hand, are a pretty hardy fish. Now, I don't know that there's been any studies done on their mortality. I wish there would. I'd be very fascinated to know the mortality rate of big catfish after the tournaments. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's not zero, because like you take largemouth bass, for instance, that's the #1 sport fish in my area. Everybody bass fishes. They've done, our Fisheries and Biologists, TWRA, they have done studies on the bass. And what they found was, and I can't remember off the top of my head now, if it was 70% over 70 degrees or 80% over 80 degrees. But it was basically, the study figured out that in the summer months, these fellas in the bass tournaments, when they're fishing the hot water, even though they're putting them in the live wells and releasing them alive, those fish are dying. And it was either 70% of the bass caught in the water over 70 degrees or 80% over 80 degrees. I can't remember. It's a published study. You can look it up. But nevertheless, a bunch of those fish die from the stress, just the lactic acid buildup during the fight, then being in the live well, the stress from all that, they end up dying. Even though they swim off, they're alive when they're released, they end up dying. And I have to believe that catfish are the same way. Now, maybe not, they might be a little bit more hardy than bass, but I'd be very curious to know these big catfish tournaments where they're packing these huge catfish, and granted, they're large live wells, but for the size of the fish and as many as they're putting in there, is it really adequate? Probably not. I'd be curious to know what the mortality rate is on those. And so anyway, I was getting to the point I was working toward is undoubtedly people are going to have a problem with me catching big catfish on this lighter tackle where the fights are taking way longer than they normally would on heavier gear, because you're just tiring the fish out more lactic acid buildup, less chance of survival. So, it's those criticisms for the people that have them are fair. Those are fair criticisms. Now, can it be proven? I don't know, and I wish there would be a study on it at some point. But right now, it's probably just more or less just common sense and opinion. The longer the fight takes, the less likely survival. Although, here is one devil's advocate argument to that. When you're using heavier tackle and you can get fish up to the surface quicker, oftentimes people, if you're not being conscious of it and you're fishing in deep water, you bring them up too quick and they bloat. They can't adjust to the pressure differences and release those gases. They go belly up. Now, there's tools. You can get them to, you can burp them basically. But what percentage of those fish die? Who knows? Whereas what we're doing today, yes, the fights are longer, but that fish, he's staying down longer. At every depth of the water column, he is down there longer, giving him more chance to release the pressure on his way up. So I would never expect to have a fish go belly up on us from bringing it up too quick when we're doing this. So tomato, you can argue and counter-argue pretty much anything in life. But fortunately for me, not having the comments on, people can't argue jack diddly poo because they're just arguing. They can argue with themselves, not me. But it's fun, and until something is he's got it, man. Oh, now he's going down with it. Now he's going with it. It was like he was thinking about it there for a second, just barely pulling it over, and then he buried it. He ain't gonna be big though. He ain't gonna be big, it's gonna be a small one. He's gonna be small enough I actually could bring him up a little too quick. I don't know where that big school of them, I mean, there was, I mean, it looked like hundreds of fish there on the screen. You saw it. I don't know where they went. They were clearly on the move though, because they weren't. When we got back up there to where we hooked the big one, they were not there. Oh no, this one is hooked. This one's hooked in a bad place. He is right on the bottom. He's on the outside of the mouth on the bottom. Oh, you fish, you're hooked in a bad way, buddy. I ain't getting this hook in me now. There we go. There he goes. He got hooked in a bad way right there. That fish, another one there, they ain't very bright. Let's get us another one of them shad. We're down to the nitty gritty here, folks. I'm gonna have to run over here and get us some more bait here in a second, looks like. Let's send that down. We're right here a close distance away from the bank. If we were going to try to get some more bluegill or something, now would be a good time to do it, being where we are here. See one more shad floating in that bucket there. One or two more in there, looks like. Dang. If only you could have got us some more shad first thing this morning. Or bring some bait with you when you come fishing with me. We got the shoreline right here behind us. We can maybe get us some bluegill real fast over there, hopefully. I want to just drift down a little bit more through here though. Get into this deeper section here before we go over there and do that, and then I guess we'll bust out another gulp or worm. I got worms here with me too. I come prepared today to catch bait. Catching it has been a challenge, but I come prepared at least to get it. I gotta get another cast net. That one there is just a cheapo. Here's the thing, you get a good quality cast net, you're gonna spend over $100 on it. And undoubtedly, within a very short time, I'm gonna throw it over a stump or something that somebody's thrown in the water and lose it, or tear it up. And I can buy 3 or 4 of them cheapo ones for the cost of one good one. But them cheapo ones, I swear I don't think they're weighted appropriately. I mean, that one was labeled 1 pound per foot. I don't believe it for a second, because it feels way lighter than it should. So when you got them lighter weight nets, they're fine if you're throwing 3 foot deep or less, which is normally where I get my gizzards at, and it's where I got them gizzards that we got back there in the grass. But when you're in situations like we were this morning, where we're marking them fish down 8 to 10 feet deep, that thing sinks so slow that they've got the chance to swim right out from under it as it comes down on top of them. And so they're just harder to get at the deeper depths. And unfortunately, the shad today are deep. You know, they were out there deeper. There just wasn't nothing going on back there in the shallows other than that one little, there was just some weeds back there. It was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 foot deep back there in the back of it, and there was some weeds, and I threw around that and got a few gizzards there. But beyond that, there just ain't much going on in the shallows right now. So that net ain't very beneficial today. But I did bring the ultralight. I always got some gulp in this kayak here. I keep them in this cup holder here in my pea cup. I got us a tub of worms. So we've got an opportunity here to catch some other stuff. And here in Tennessee, you can use pretty much anything for bait as long as it's legal size. So some things, largemouth bass, crappie, smallmouth bass, they'll have size limits on what we can and can't use. But things like bluegill, that little yellow bass we had earlier, white bass, drum, there's no size limits on those. There's a creel limit there on white bass. Like I think it's 10 or 15 per person per day. I don't know. I don't remember the exact number, but I never keep that many anyway, so it don't really apply to me. So I don't really, not one of them things I memorize because it don't matter for what I do. We were out now 52 feet here. I need to lower these baits down, but I'm not seeing anything on the screen. We'll lower this other one down. We'll go down just a little bit further here, and then we'll bust out the ultralight and see what we can get. I got that other gizzard right there, but it'll give us about a whopping 2 baits maybe if we cut him up. And we just ended up, we got on, one, we didn't have a lot of bait, and 2, we got on some fish so quickly that we went through what we had pretty quick today. It's a good problem to have though. I'd rather burn through all the bait than to not catch anything and have a bunch left over. And here's another, I mean, this is, one of the little nitpicky things, but like, if you get your bait when you get to the water, you're gonna save some cash because you ain't buying ice. And when you drop your bait down, it's even the shad that we've put down there dead. Like they are freshly dead. Like it is truly as fresh a bait as you can get. Unlike when I go on a bait run and put the bait on ice and it's on ice for day 2, 3, however long before I go on the catfish trip, like it's fresh enough, but it ain't super fresh. And on finicky days, that can make a difference. Some baits it matters more than others, I think. I think shad, I typically like to use shad within 24 to 48 hours. I like to use them pretty quick. Skipjack, try to use them within 3 days. I have used them 4 and 5 days though, and still caught fish with them, but definitely within about 3 days is ideal. Same with white bass, 2 to 3 days. Shad, the longer you keep a shad on ice, the mushier it's going to get. I just think they're better. I think you're better off with shad to use them quickly. Here comes a boat over here this way. I don't know where they're going. Hopefully not over here toward us. Looks like it might be a catfish boat because they got a bunch of rods sticking up in the back. If they're lucky, maybe they'll find that school we was on. I would have thought the most likely scenario for that big school would have been for them to retreat deeper. But who knows? I mean, they could have moved up in that daggone creek. Much bait was up in there. I don't know. When you get off of them, though, it's hard to get back on them. It's easier in a boat because you can move at faster speeds, and of course, a lot of them boats and stuff's got side scan and whatnot, so you can cover more water quickly and looking out away from you. With our 2D graph and a kayak, we're kind of limited. But that's okay, because doing things how I do them, following the contours, you know, trying to put my baits in the path that fish are going to take as they move up and down these ledges, that's going to keep us on fish pretty consistently throughout the year. You know, I don't fish just willy-nilly random. Oh no, okay. We're about to get snagged up here again. I was coming up a little shallow. I tell you what, let's go over here and get us some bluegill. Let's go ahead and just refresh everything here. And that way we can finish out our drift today with some more fresher, lively bait. Get this thing over here. Let me spin that around. I'll tell you what I'd like to do too. It's going to be a pain in the butt to do it, but before we put the bluegill down in that nasty water that we've had the shad in, I'd kind of like to switch that water out, even though it's going to be a pain to do so. All right. Dumping, it's easy. Getting it refilled and back up in here is the challenge, especially when there's a camera in the chest. But we got it. Okay. All right, folks. Hey, you want to come with me catch some bluegill? If not, fast forward. Two options. Click off or fast forward, because we're going to go over here and beat the banks. You want to throw a worm or you want to throw a gulp? What do you want to do? Matters not to me. Let's just we'll start right over in here. We'll throw a worm maybe. A worm will probably get us maybe a little better quality bluegill, a little bigger. Although the size of the bait today hasn't made a difference at all, has it? Because our biggest fish came on a small bait. All right, let's bait up here. Got my trusty Ultralight, 2-pound line, 1/64 ounce jig head, number 8 hook. See if we can spend a few minutes, catch a few. If they're over here, I hope it goes better than what it did in the back of this creek, but I think it will. I just don't think, I think the bait had moved out from the back of that creek, and I imagine everything else moved with it. We got, well, we had one just like that. I done missed him. It's over again. I would imagine, usually these main channel shorelines with the down trees, rocks, etc., they're usually good spring to fall, no matter what. So, I love me some ultralight fishing. You don't have to ever twist my arm to go ultralight fishing, but I would like to get back after the cats today, especially after we done got that big one. Hopefully we will see there's currents moving a little bit through here. It'd be nice if we had like a little tree coming out to create a current break. They'd probably be stacked up on the other side of it. There's a tiny one. Unfortunately for this bluegill, even though he's super tiny, he's still coming with us. No, he ain't, because Boy, that was stupid. Did you see me do that? I just threw him over the bucket. If this was the Bozo Show grand prize game, I just lost on the first throw. There's another one though. I was gonna say I don't even care about them being small because we got small hooks tied on with these lighter tackle rods, so it really don't matter. Oh my God, I done it again. All right, folks, the next one, I'm gonna need y'all to just gently place him in the bucket. I clearly can't trust you to toss him up there. There's a bunch right over there though. I can't believe that. 2 in a row, I've missed the dang bucket. I can believe it, actually. There. And he just jumped out of the damn bucket. You can't make this stuff up, folks. He literally, I got him in the bucket and he just jumped out. You can't make this stuff up. Oh my gosh. It ain't meant to be for us to get bait today. Here, I ain't got a lid on that bucket, but I'll throw our net up there. Maybe that'll help block them. There's some over here right behind this rock though. Just having that piece of worm left on there is tearing them up. Well, I say that, now we ain't gonna catch another one. I can't believe that though. Miss the bucket twice, then get it in the bucket, and he jumps out. When it ain't your day for catching bait, folks, it just ain't your day. But thankfully, it is our day for catching catfish, if we can get us some more bait. Looks like that piece of rock comes out right there a good ways. Something got her worm in. We got 4 fish on that last worm there. That's pretty good return on investment. Let's get us another one. These are little red worms. I've been using some worms quite a bit more this year when ultralight fishing. It can't never go wrong using worms, but you oftentimes get a little bit better quality fish with the worms, and you also too get up more shell cracker with the worms. There we go. Them shell cracker love them some worms. And they seem to love rocky shorelines, and this is rocky over here, so another tiny bluegill. Beggars and choosers though, folks. We're gonna take whatever we can get. I don't care today. Oh, boy, he was on it instantly. All right. Well, maybe this won't take too terribly long if we keep getting, if we can actually get them in the bucket, this may not take too long. Get them in the bucket and keep them in the bucket. They're over there, I see them. Something else splash against the shoreline there instantly. They're small, but it's something. They're about the same length as that shad that the big catfish ate. Let's turn our bubbler on there. There we go. We'll rehook this worm before we send it back out. There we go. All right. Back to it. Oh, there he is. They're just hanging out over here under these trees right up on the shoreline. Ain't that something though? I mean, we're literally getting them every cast. I spent 10 minutes back there or more, throwing around them docks in the back of that creek and couldn't get a single bluegill. That damn yellow bass must have been lost. I don't know what he was doing back there. Here's another one. Yeah, let's just sit here. Since we're getting them so quickly, and they ain't even throwing our worm off the hook, let's just get us 15 or 20. I can always just, whatever we got left over, if we got any left over, I can throw them out when I leave. I mean, every cast we're getting hit over there. There's just a million small bluegill. I'm glad y'all talked me into doing this before we got on downriver, because we'd have had to go a farther distance to get to the shoreline. Right here, the way the river runs, the edge of the ledge works right up to the shoreline almost here. There's no big flat. Once you get right here, there's no big flat that you have to go across. You throw back over here. It seems to be over here behind us. May need to throw a little bit bigger piece of worm. Oh, I don't either. Nah, hellfire, I'm hung. Dadgummit, I thought we had us a better fish right there. I set the hook on it pretty good too. Let me get us backed up. The cluster of a day continues with the bait fishing, getting snagged up here. There it come. We have not had much luck with things going right on the bait, but boy, when we get it though, I got a feeling these bluegill are gonna pay off for us. Let me just get another. Oh no, that sun's peeking out. Sun's peeking out from the clouds there. I can do without that. It instantly went up about 20 degrees, it feels like. Go. Yeah, let's just make our way down the shoreline a little bit more. Making our way on the shoreline. Hopefully that sun will pop back behind the clouds before we get out in the main channel again. Right here we can kind of hide from it a bit. Something robbed us. We were doing so good. Now we got our worm robbed like we was getting our shad robbed earlier. Okay. There's a worm. If y'all was a fishing partner worth of crap, you'd bait these worms for me here, bait the hook for me. I'm ready to make another cast, and I'm waiting on you to get over here and get us a worm on the hook. All right. Now we got it all wrapped around the rod tip here. I'm whacking the camera with the rod. There it is. Now we're back in the game. Let's just keep making our way up the shoreline. I guess we've wore them out right here in this area. Let's keep going up through here. One thing about bluegill, they're pretty reliable. May not always get big ones, but you can usually catch. There's one. you can usually pretty much catch them 7 days a week, any hour of the day as long as it's daylight. And that one there's a little better. I don't do any good after dark. I think they kind of, after dark, kind of maybe hunker down a little bit because they're probably worried about getting eaten more than eating after dark. Things that move up on the shoreline and shallows and stuff. Well, that's a lively worm right there. Let's get him. Okay. All right. It's over here by that tree. There ought to be something hanging out beside it. Something, there he is too. I knew there ought to be something over there. Tiny thing though. Don't throw that worm off, bluegill. You ain't worth wasting a worm over. Let's get him again. Maybe he's got a bigger friend over there beside that tree. Yeah, maybe he don't too. Something was hitting me right then. That looks like shad right there, buddy. 12 feet deep, that's down about 6 feet deep. Big school of them. Oh no. I thought that was a fish. Did a fish run around a snag, or did I just imagine having a fish? If we break off, we're just going to go back out there and get to catfishing. I think I'm in part of that tree. Yeah, I just broke off. All right, let's get back to catfishing. We got plenty of bluegill in there, at least to get us started. If we run through those, then I'll tie on another jig and try it again. I just don't want to waste any more time because that sun's popping out and it's going to get hotter, and damn it, quick. I want to try to get back out here and get us some more catfish. We're just going to continue on our drift. We'll get us back out here in deeper water. I want to be on kind of on that bottom break line of this ledge. You can see how it's dropping off real fast there, real sharp as we go back out. Where it starts to kind of level out is where we want to fish, and we want to work that line all the way downriver. Yeah, right in here it's starting to kind of level out a little bit. Time we come to a stop here, we should be good. Put that behind us, get our worms out of the way. Been a cluster of a day with the bait, man. But you know what? We're making it work. We've made it work. We've got us a flathead. We've got us blue cats, including a big one. Like, when I leave here today, I'm going to be going home happy. Let's grab us a bluegill. That's the bigger one there, too. Perfect. I was wanting him. You were the one I was wanting. This is perfect. I don't think he wanted me to get him, but I wanted to get him. This is one here. I think I'm gonna, let's run this one through the back. Shallow through the back. Okay. Well, that's our biggest bluegill that we caught. He's nothing to write home about, but he's the biggest we got, so we're going with him. We'll put a smaller one on the other rod. 56 feet looks like right here. It'll take a second to get there, and then the sinker's going to get there before the fish does, so we'll have to work him down there to us. All right, I think he's there. There we go. Put that in the rod holder. Now let's get our other rod here. Got this shad still on here, but I'm gonna take them off and put on we'll try the bluegill. Like I said, they have been performing well for me over the last month or so. Well, if I can get them, well, there we go. Fast little suckers in there. And this one here, we will go, he's a smaller one. We'll go in the mouth and go out through the nostril that way on him. Try hooking them a couple different ways. Down it goes, folks. We're back in the game. A little bit of a brief detour. A little bit of a sideshow going on catching bait, but that's all right. When you come to the water and you don't have bait, that's just what you got to do. There it is. Put that back in there. Dry my hands off and we're good. Get us back out here a little bit. Well, that sun, y'all, do something with that sun for me, would you? It is getting, it's like a damn sauna. As soon as that sun popped out, you can feel the temperature just go up 20 degrees. And you know me, buddy, I don't, in extreme heat and extreme cold, I'm just a pansy. I spend the time at the house. I'm gonna bust out my sunglasses though. Okay. Get my shades on, at least won't be blinded by that sun. Yeah, I think today's gonna be a day where I'm gonna go to the house and we'll get this video on the computer and then maybe get me a big bowl of watermelon today. I think I'm feeling some watermelon. I think we're gonna go, I got a buoy right here I gotta work us around. I think we're gonna go on the outside of this buoy. It's gonna be about, when we get down here just a few hundred more yards, it's gonna be about 70 feet deep, I believe. Somewhere between 60 and 70 feet deep. And then it's gonna start to come back up. I'm curious if there's anything going on down there in that super deep water. I'm wondering if them fish retreated down there or if they just kept going on up. Either way, we're gonna drift right through it and just continue on downriver. We're just covering water, man. Even if we don't get on that big school of cats that we were on before, there's a chance we run into another school up. Or just some occasional straggler fish. That's okay too. Matters not to me, I just want to catch some more. And I'm hoping it wasn't just a first thing this morning kind of bite. That's the real downfall of when you take part of your fishing trip in the morning catching bait, and especially a day like today where it took way longer than what I wanted, is if you have a morning bite going on, you're going to spend part of that morning bite just getting bait. And everything, of course, when you're in a kayak, everything takes longer. It takes longer to reload after you make a throw with the cast net. It takes longer to get it off your pedals and rod holders and everything else to get ready for the next throw. And then, of course, if you've got a situation like today where I'm making a run back there in that creek, well, it takes longer to get back there in the kayak and then longer to get back out. So you end up spending quite a bit of your time doing stuff that's not what you want to be doing. And if it's a limited time when they're turned on and feeding, well, you've missed it. But we'll see. We'll see as we go down through there. If we don't catch him more, we don't catch him more. But I'm inclined to believe we will. Probably need to back us up a little bit, but we're going to stay the course for now. Actually, I am going to back us up. I got us farther away from that buoy than what I thought I had. And as we drop off, I'm going to be paying attention to this, and we're going to drop our baits down as needed. As we get deeper, I'll just periodically just lower them. Try to keep them right off the bottom within a few feet. You don't want them up. I mean, if catfish are real active, bluegill's getting lively. If catfish are active, they'll come up for a bait a good ways, but you don't want it being 10 or 15 feet off the bottom. Unless you're just marking fish that are suspended up off the bottom. But even active fish probably aren't going to come up that far. You want to kind of have it in their face. And most of the time, these cats are swimming along the bottom, just off the bottom. And so I want my baits right there in their faces. I want them basically just colliding together. Force them to make a decision. And if you got a fresh piece of cut bait or an injured bait fish there, you can trigger them into eating, into biting. Bluegill got lively. I thought he might get gobbled up. We're down to 60 feet now, so I'm going to drop them down a little bit more. Let that sinker hit bottom. I'm going to reel down to the sinker and raise the whole rig up. I'll do the same thing with this rod. It's easier when you're going into deeper water than when you're in deeper water going into shallower water. Because when you're dropping off deeper, you're not going to get snagged. When you are coming up into shallower water, that's when you're most likely to get hung on something and have to break off. Now, I don't care if you use a lighter tackle or not. Nobody wants to get hung. Getting hung is never fun. Slide us out a little bit more. I'm trying to just work the edge. Trying to work the edge of that contour there. Got that allegedly a submerged bridge right there too. I've never seen any remnants of it in times past, but allegedly once upon a time there was a bridge there before this was flooded to make the reservoir. I wish, and maybe there is somewhere in the archives somewhere, but it happened so long ago. Technology just wasn't then what it is today. But like, it would have been cool to see what this river looked like from like an aerial view before they flooded it to make the reservoir. I'm gonna have to raise these things up. We're up to 56 feet now. Yeah, I think I'm okay right there. I'm gonna get snagged up as we come up. There we go. Well, I'm really working up on here. Let me slide us out. There we go. Now we're going off it. But it would be interesting to know what it looked like before, because when they built the dams and impounded everything, the water came up a long ways. And like these flats and stuff, like the flat up here above us, upriver, that would have been out of the water back in the day. Probably farmland. And of course now a lot of these creeks too, these backwater areas, the creeks themselves weren't nearly as big back before everything was flooded. So it would be interesting to see what it looked like before. And unfortunately, you know, so long ago, I don't know that there really was any maybe like a government type thing. Maybe they had some video or photography or something, but to my knowledge, as far as what the public can see, I don't know of any aerial shots of the Tennessee River prior to impoundment. But it would be absolutely fascinating to see it, especially places that I normally fish and that I'm around all the time, to be able to see what they looked like before. I think it'd be pretty cool. There's an argument to be made too of whether or not it was worthwhile for them to do it. I mean, the government has made a lot of money off of it because the hydroelectric dams, they make electricity with that, and of course they don't pass on that electricity to us for free. Like, we're paying for it. And allegedly, a lot of areas were prone to flooding and stuff too, back in the day. But a lot of people lost their homes. They had the government pretty much take it through eminent domain. And as far as the native fish species go, I think pretty much everybody would agree that having the river flow naturally is better for the fish than having the impoundments. I mean, everything that makes their way upriver to spawn gets stopped at the dams, where they get just annihilated by the fishermen. Happens every year with skipjack and everything else, so it's just, I don't know. You can make, I guess, one of them things like everything else in life, you can make an argument for or against. It has helped with the flooding, though. We'll flood occasionally, but it's not like you're not wiping out towns and stuff. Most of the time, our water they lower it down in the fall, usually about November. They lower the water down and then don't raise it up again until about May, but sometimes in the winter, if we get a lot of rain, they'll raise it up to summer pool, maybe above summer pool. So you can have, 10 to 15 foot swings in the depth, but that helps prevent the floods, allegedly. I wasn't around back in the day when it was supposedly flooding, so I can't speak to whether or not it really happened or not. All you can do is just take the old records and government's word for it. I don't think any of us, this day and time, trust the media or the government enough to believe anything they have ever said at any point in time. There's always ulterior motives. So who knows, really? But this is what we got to deal with now. This is what we're working with. You come out here in the mornings, and usually you don't have much current, if any, but lately we just got some rain recently, so they've been moving some water at the dam and moving it 24/7. Normally this time of year, they usually will turn the generators on about noon and run them till 10 p.m., midnight, and then shut them completely off. So if you're fishing somewhere between midnight and noon, you oftentimes won't have any current flow. So oftentimes, in other videos in previous years this time of year, you see me trolling a lot because I don't have any flow to drift with. But fortunately today, we've got some current moving us. It's moving us 0.6 right now. So that's perfect drifting speed, but there ain't nothing, man. I'm down here, we're 67 feet past this submerged bridge where allegedly it was. There ain't nothing through here. So we're gonna keep going. The water's gonna start to come up shallower. Oftentimes in the summer, man, deep holes, I find some good fish in deep holes. But this one here don't seem to have anything in it. So I guess that answers the question. That school of catfish that we were on earlier, they did not retreat back down to the deeper hole. I guess that answers that. That's unfortunate. I'd hope that's where they went to. Well, either way, we got us some. We got us a big one out of that school. And we'll just drift along and find the next one. I'm gonna get me a swig of water right fast, y'all. You're gonna have to bear with me while I swig. That sun's making me thirsty. I've been trying not to, when I do these unedited videos, I don't eat anything. And I try not to slurp too much because y'all are hearing every bit of it, every gulp on the microphone. I try not to subject you to it. Now on Facebook, where I actively try to trigger people, I will eat on camera and stuff on there just to try to get a rise out of people. But on here, I try to keep it watchable, best I can anyway. I ain't done many of these unedited videos this summer. Well, I done one the last trip out and doing one today, but I haven't done it as much this year. But I thought, you know what, it's been a while, I'm gonna get back to it. I'm doing something here that I don't normally do. I don't have a lot of videos where I'm throwing a net from the kayak. I do, if you want to learn how to throw a net, how I do it, I do have a video from 7 or 8 years ago on my channel. You'll have to search for it, Kayak Catfish, how to throw a cast net or something. Type that in, it'll pull it up. I haven't made a new video doing that because why would I? Nothing's changed with how I throw the net. I still throw it the same way. But I don't have a lot of videos with me actively throwing the net from the kayak. So I wanted to do it a little bit with this because, you know, one, this is like a real fishing trip. Like this is me coming out on the water with nothing, no bait whatsoever, having to get bait, show you the, well, in today's case, the struggle, but hopefully future trips I do this, hopefully it'll go a little bit more smoothly. But nevertheless, show you the process from start to finish, from catching bait, dropping them down, setting up, how we're following the contours, catching some fish, reloading on bait as we had to do, and then getting back on the move again. Like show you all start to finish how we're going about it. Bring you on a real fishing trip. And, you know, some people ain't going to be into that. But for those of you that are, hopefully this will be beneficial to you in some way, whether it's probably not very entertaining listening to me gulp this bottle of water over here. But, you know, hopefully from an educational standpoint, maybe you'll get 1 or 2 nuggets from this that will help you on your future trips. Something that you can apply wherever you're at, your home water, that will benefit you in catching more fish. We're coming up pretty quickly now. We're up to 54 feet, so I'm just raising our baits here as we come up out of this hole. That one there is still okay. I just raised it up. Yeah, we're 56 feet here now, coming up, and we're just going to follow that contour. Now, as we get down river, there's going to be another kind of a shallow flat that comes out and then drops off. And so we're going to be working off that shallow flat as we go down. Oh, we got hit. That's the bigger bluegills. I don't know if something hit him. Something's hit him. Or he's swimming awful hard from something. The way the rod tip's wiggling, it's almost like he's swimming. Like he's trying to get away from something. I see too what I think he's trying to get away from right there. Well, we know he's still on there at least. He's trying to get away. pick up on this and make sure we're still good here. I need to raise it a little more. We're up to 52 feet now. I really need to raise this one. Where is he at? Has something got him and come up? Something has. Something had eat him and come up. Oh, there goes that one. There goes that one now. I'm gonna work on the one in the hand here a second. We're doubled. Just like that, we're doubled. We come out of this hole. Oh, he let him go. Boy, he's looking rough too. Dang. Foul hook there or something. Let's see if this one's still on. This one's still on for now. Dang. We had a chance at a double there. Y'all botched that other one. That was the one I had to, I'm gonna have to not hook them fish through the back with them shiner hooks. They just don't seem to be getting good hookups with it. I'm gonna run them through the mouth from now on. This, oh, and that one popped free right there. Dang. There's definitely a cat because we're all slimed up here. Crapola, man. First time we got a bite in a minute, and y'all somehow botched both of them. I gotta find me better fishing partners, man. I gotta find me a fishing partner that knows how to catch a fish, and knows how to keep them hooked. All right, let's send this down. Got him hooked through the mouth there. Down he goes. I'm still seeing some more. We're 52 feet. Get it down there and we'll see if we can get another on before he gets eat. Tell you what, if that sun don't go behind the cloud soon, when we do run out of bait, if we do, I probably ain't gonna reload. I'm gonna end up going to the house. It is getting hotter by the second, man. Oh, we got two of them in there. Let's try that smaller one there. Put him in there. This one here is, he's beat to hell, folks. He got eaten for sure, but we just didn't. We didn't stay buttoned up for whatever reason. All right. I can run it through. There we go. Now we got it. Down it goes. All right, we're back in the game again. That wind's hitting us, it's pushing us faster than the current for a second. There we go. All right, get our net there out of the way. Dry my hands off again. All right, we got two fresh baits on. Right there, some more, looks like some more fish right off the bottom, so maybe it won't take long. One of them will be gobbling it up, man. You just never know, folks. You never know when the next bite is coming. When you're drifting like this, I can't tell if something's after him or if, yeah, that bluegill there can't take that rod over like that. Something was after him. Oh, that one's going down. That one's going down. Something was after both of them. I think something's still after that one on the left. Yes, it's going to pull a little bit here now. Yeah, we're definitely going through some fish right here. Something's still after that one on the left, buddy. He's still, I think he may have it now. We're about to be doubled, folks. I want to go ahead and get this one up here. Oh boy, that's just a slow pull. Let me put this one back. Now he's gonna run. Now he's gonna run. Oh, look at all them fish. There they are, folks, right there they are. We're back on them. This was just a slow pull. Yeah, look at all them fish right there. I wonder if that's the same school we had earlier. If not, it's another big school. I wish now I hadn't threw that other bluegill I took off. The last hook there that was been eaten. I wish now I hadn't have thrown him off the hook or threw him back in the water. Small cat, nice takedown though. I thought, boy, the way he took it down slow. Let's finish pulling this one in now. We're back on him, buddy. I hadn't got a look at this one yet. How many fish have we caught today? I wasn't keeping track. It's been several. Actually, I think this one right here might be a little bigger than the other one. It is. It's going to be that's a fun sizer right there. Yeah. Fun size, buddy. You might call him a larger dink. He's a small fun size. If he's fun size, he's smaller fun size. Let's, when we get these two released, we'll just run right back up here and go through that area again. Y'all reach down there and grab that fish for me, would you? Oh, goodness, fish. Come here now. Let me get hold of you. Oh, let me get hold of you now. Act like somebody. Act like somebody. You ain't getting no front camera time, and he's upset about it. He knows he ain't getting front camera time, and he's mad at me for it. I need that hook back, fish. Boy, that thing is in there good, man. Get my pliers. One of you's grab my pliers over here, would you? That thing's buried in there, man. I don't want to get too rough with it because I don't want to bend it. There we go. Okay. Let me at least hold him out like that there for you. Skinny. Longer fish though, but skinny. Now, let's get his friend. Fish number 2 of the double. A little bit smaller. This one is still a dink here. Okay, come here now. Come here. Come here, you can do it. Okay, all right. Let me just get my pliers on this and tell you. Neither one of you fish was coming free from the hook, that's for sure. Pliers got rusted shut. There he is, folks, a little dink. All right, let's on the move. Get on the move here. Let's run right back up here and see if we can find that school again. I'm still seeing a few stragglers here, but I want to see if we can find that big school again before we drop back down. They were right on the edge of that break line, man. We had just come out of the hole. We'd come up out of it from the deepest water, and that's where they were at. Yeah, I'm seeing a few more fish there now. Just gonna trying to follow that line as we pedal back up here. Yeah, we'll at least go back up here where we was and drop back down and drift through those again. At the very least, they ain't, still not seeing the biggest school of them that we were on. But there's definitely some fish there that we about to go back through. All right. Right in here is where we hooked them, so let's do it. Let's get us some more baits out here. Okay, here's just two tributes. These bluegill have volunteered as tributes for the Catfish Hunger Games here. We'll hook him in the mouth, out a nostril, and down he goes. We'll get one of his friends on here in a second. Y'all, I'm telling you, that's fun. I don't care if those were smaller fish, that's fun. When these rods go down, you just don't know. The way they go down, you just don't know what you've hooked into. Sometimes with my heavier tackle, like, it's obvious it's a dink before you pick up on the rod. So you're already disappointed, you know. With these, you don't know till you get it going, and hell, even the smaller fish on this tackle they're a lot of fun to catch. I definitely got to redo us some more leaders here. Oh, that one come out of the net right there, didn't he? Come here, bluegill. The small one here, we got one of our bigger bluegill on that rod. And this one will be one of our smaller ones. There he goes. Down he goes where he stops. You and me know. In a catfish's mouth. Yeah, this whole situation today has been fun, man. Catching the big fish, doing it on light tackle, doing it in this kayak. I love this kayak. It has its limitations. One of them being rod holders, being able to securely mount them to the hull because you can't drill into this thing. But with the lighter tackle and the fact my drags are looser on this kayak, I've just got these things just in a regular, like, Scotty base that are made for gear tracks. And I don't really have any fear of them getting ripped off because our drag being so loose. So it gives me a workaround in this kayak for not being able to drill into the hull to mount rod holders securely, so that I can keep, like my heavier tackle, I like to keep my drags tight using the circle hooks and stuff. I like to keep them, I like to let the fish load up the rod and really just bury it. And can't do that in this kayak unless I use these that are mounted to the seat, which I'm not real impressed with these. They serve the purpose, they're functional, but I like having my rods in front of me. I like being able to see the rods go down where I can't really do it with this. So, you know, pluses and minuses with everything, but all right, we should be, them fish that we just went over coming back up through here, we should be getting to them. Not seeing much. There's a little something right there. I'm actually going to back us up just a little bit. Come off the ledge. You can see with the tight contours that here behind us, it comes off real fast. But then it's a slow, gradual taper out toward the main channel. So we want to work that break line where the steep drop kind of starts to level. And we want to work that edge all the way down river. And that's where we had seen them fish. So, oh. I thought it was about to go down. He got lively. He's getting lively again. I wonder how much that's the fish and how much of that's, I come up a little shallower. I wonder if I need to raise my bait. No, it feels okay. It feels okay. Let me check this one, make sure it's okay. That one definitely needs to be raised. Boy, it's getting hotter than damn it, folks. Y'all turn the air conditioner on, would you? The wind is at least blowing a little bit so that you just ain't sitting in a total sauna, but it's funny how that works, man. Like when the temperatures are freezing cold and the windshield just cuts through you, it won't stop blowing. But in the hot months, in the summer, I know, have we got a fish on? No. Oh, that one's going down. That one's going down. Here we go. I was going to say, in the hot months, when it's hot as all get out, the wind never blows, it seems like. There we go, we got us another one. This was on the smaller bluegill here. Oh, and he just come free. He just come free. He took our bluegill and come free. I actually don't feel like we got a bluegill on this rod either. Did we get robbed over here while I was dealing with the other one? No, he's on there. He ain't looking good, but he's on there, folks. Let's send him back down. Okay, we're back on the fish now. I'm back on them here. I'll show you here in just a second. Una momenta. Okay, set that one back in the holder. Look right there. All that, I gotta get us off. Get it blown up. We've already got one hooked up here, I think. We've already got one hooked up right there on that. I dropped it down right into him. He ate it instantly. That was fast, man. That was quick. Love it. We're still on some fish here too. Oh, he's got that thing choked, man. I want you to look at that. That fish has got it absolutely choked. He has got this bluegill. It's literally wedged in his mouth. I don't even know that he's hooked. I don't think he's hooked. I think the bluegill's just wedged in there. Oh no, there's the hook. There's the hook. The bluegill is still wiggling in his. I'm gonna take that bluegill back, fish. Hell, you're gonna choke to death on it anyway. I need that bluegill back. I gotta catch your friends with it. He had that thing absolutely choked, man. All right, let's just run right back up here again a second. Let's do it one more time here, folks. Let's go back up above them. As soon as I dropped that one down on him, man, he was on it. I wonder how many bluegill we got left up there. I still got that shad that's probably about rotted now. It's been laying out on top of the kayak so long. Okay, there's some more right there along the bottom. Let's just go up here right above them so we can drift through. Yeah, definitely not as many fish through here as what we saw there earlier today, but they're here. There's definitely some here. Okay, we're running out of them now, so this is good. We'll get stopped and get through them again here. Let me grab us some more bluegill. There's one. Oh, yep. Don't you dare flop out, bluegill. Don't you dare do it, buddy. There we go. Send him down. All right, now we'll get something on our other rod. If we got any more bluegill in there, we'll put another live one on. If not, I'll probably put that one that we just took out of that other fish's mouth. I'll probably put him on whole. and send him down. Let me see what we got going on up there. Oh, we do have more in here. Yeah, we got more. Here, you sit there a minute, bluegill, while I get this hook ready. Yeah, we got some more there. In that bucket, we're good. Good for another minute or two. I got all kinds of little shad there in my pedal drive. I'm gonna have to pick out later. They get in there and they get between your pulleys on your pedal drive, and damn things will just rot there. Okay. Back down it goes. Looks like we're 50 feet deep right now. Should be coming up on that school of fish any moment now, as the kayak is settled and it's going back down river now. But yeah, I absolutely love this kayak. It's my favorite kayak that I've ever caught fish in. It has its limitations, but from just a fun perspective of being on it, catching fish in it, you can't beat it, man. This paddleboard style is just, the way you get spun around, it's a blast. It's unsinkable because there's nowhere for water to get inside it. So it's a pretty awesome platform. Now, it's not good in real choppy water. It's not good in real windy conditions. So, and of course you can't drill into the hull. So it's got limitations. And you also too don't want to, like where I launched out here today's boat ramp. So no issues launching it, but you wouldn't want to drag this thing down like a real rocky shoreline, because the hull isn't very thick. It's foam wrapped in plastic, so you don't want to, and thin plastic at that. So got some limitations with that, but if you can launch it and the weather's decent, man, you can't have more fun on a platform. I thought that rod, I thought it was going to get hit. I guess that was just the bluegill moving. Still seeing a fish here and there as we drift along. We're moving a little quicker. We're moving 0.8, 0.7 now. The way the wind is currently blowing, it's got us moving, almost feel like it's moving us downriver, moving us faster than the current. I'm gonna pedal just a little bit here and just kind of slow us down. We'll just stay on the move though, man. Them fish, they could have went further up, they could be down. Like I said, even if you get off the school, you'll eventually find another one. I mean, how long did we go without getting a bite there earlier? It was a while, it felt like. And then we drifted down into that hole, nothing, nothing, nothing. We come out of it and there's some fish waiting. And we're on them again. So like, you know, it's just a matter of covering water. We want to raise these up a little bit though. We're up to 46 feet. We're going to be dragging bottom and getting snagged. There we go. All right. All right, man. We've caught a bunch of fish today. I don't know how many we've got. I wasn't keeping track, but it seems like we've got a bunch. We've had a lot of action today. Plus the big fish, plus the flathead. Even though the flathead was small, man, I still, anytime I get a flathead, I'm happy about it. That was the first fish we got today, too. No bycatches, though. Which, I mean, if we were going to get bycatches like stripers or bass or drum, I would expect that to be more so on the live shad. The fact that we didn't use live shad very long before they had died, we were pretty much using whole dead shad, and now we're using live bluegill. I wouldn't expect as many bycatches now as with what we would have if we could have kept the mother shad alive. I'm going to have to raise these up. We're up to 39 feet here now. We're really coming up fast. I told you it comes up. Oh no, that one's snagged. Here, I gotta raise these up real fast. Let the kayak settle here a second. There we go. Okay. Now let's lower this one back down. Yeah, this has been fun so far, y'all. I'm very pleased with how things have gone today. I've made some mistakes, certainly. Oh. The catfishing session, at least today, I'm pleased with how it's going. There it goes. Oh, he nailed it. And he just come free. Did he take our bait? You better not have took our bait, fish. He did. He robbed us. What's going on over here with this one? We got one on over here, though. We got one on over here. He's swimming with it. Nope, he let it go. Is our bait still on this one? It is. He ain't looking good, but we're gonna send him back down. Dang old fish, trying to play games with us here. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm pretty sure we got more bluegill in there. I think we got one more, actually. Yeah, that's our last live bluegill. We got that other bluegill that's dead, and that old shad that's baked in the sun here for a couple hours now. We made the most of about every piece of bait we've had, though. Today, I mean, it's... Did you hear that? Well, a big tree just fell over there in the woods. You may not have heard that on Fancy Pants microphone, but a big tree just come down over there. We've had a hard time with bait today, but we've made use of every piece that we've had. All right, let me get repositioned here now. Depth is changing a little bit through here, more rapidly than what I would like it to. Fearful we're going to get snagged if we ain't careful. Okay. All right. All right, just stay on the drift here. But yeah, the catfishing portion of the day's been fun. We've caught a lot of fish. We've made use of the bait that we had. We've got our big fish, we got our flathead. When I leave here in a little while, I'm gonna be going home happy. Hopefully though, we'll get us 2 or 3 more fish here, I hope. We should at least get 2 or 3 more takedowns and have our hooks stripped. I don't know, as far as this light tackle stuff goes, I don't really know what the best hook for me to use would be. I got these shiner hooks, but when I got these shiner hooks, I was pulling along shad like weightless behind the kayak while I was dragging bigger baits, because in the wintertime I was finding a lot of catfish up in the water column. So I'd got these shiner hooks for that. But I don't know necessarily that they're the best choice for this. I probably need to get just maybe a smaller circle hooks, as that one right there is getting hit. There he goes. Got him then. We'll see if our other one goes down over here with it. It's gonna be another blue cat. I feel him rolling. Come on to the party, blue kitty. Oh, it ain't either. That's a channel cat. You know, we don't want to see these things. If I told y'all I hate channel cats, we're down here to our last little bit of bait, and daggone channel cats is stealing one of them. And there he goes. Well, at least we got a quick release out of him. At least we didn't have to actually touch the daggone thing. I'm gonna put this whole bluegill back on, man. I'm gonna put the whole thing down there. He's chewed up, he's seen better days, but you know what? He's going back down. He's definitely gonna be fresher than that shad that's been baking on the kayak all morning. The sun's thankfully behind a cloud right now, but while it was out, I'm sure that thing was just cooking its innards, you know. All right. Yeah, buddy. We'll just keep on our drift here. I'm gonna probably go to the house, I guess, after we run through these last couple baits here. I don't think I'm gonna go reload. It's real shallow up there over on those docks. This goes up to that flat area I was talking about, real shallow. It's deeper on the other side of the channel because it kind of makes like an outside bend here, kind of. So I'm sure we'd find some more bluegill over there, but I think I'm probably gonna call it quits when we go through next couple baits here, which might be, well, he got bumped. But I gotta figure out the hook situation. I need to start packing a net with this. I really need a better way to keep shad alive. On the last trip, I tried one of them nets, and floating nets, to keep beside the kayak so the shad would be in the water all the time, but they didn't really do any better in that than what they do in the bucket. You can keep them alive in the bucket, you just can't keep many alive in there, and I need several. I mean, like today, I mean, we could have, you look at the number of baits that we've used, and then you think about what we could have used if I hadn't spent so much time trying to get bait. I need a better way to store them and keep them alive, but it's just tough to do in a kayak. You have to, you know, whatever bait tank, live well you're using in a kayak, you have to be able to remove it and put it in your vehicle for transport. And water is 8 pounds a gallon, so that 5-gallon bucket, and of course I'll dump it out, but let's say I had some live baits in there and I was bringing it with me. Well, it's only 40 pounds, that's manageable. But I had one I had made, it's been several years ago, but I'd made it out of a 10-gallon trash can. Had big sturdy handles on the sides and whatnot, but man, hell, it's 80 pounds. That's just a lot of weight to be lugging around. And that was just 10 gallons even. So I mean, like, you need a bait tank that's adequate for the number of shad that we're hopefully going to go through on a trip. It's just not real feasible in a kayak. Now, other baits like bluegill, for instance, a lot more hardy. They're going to last in a smaller container longer. So, you know, things like that is a little bit different, but when we're using shad, whether I'm catching them ahead of time or the day of, it's just hard to keep them alive for any length of time. And you can, I mean, you know, and you can't just say, well, I can keep 10 alive, that's what I'm gonna take with me. Hell, you might be done fishing in 30 minutes. Have a few get stripped of the hook and have the others get eaten, and well, next thing you know, you're out of bait 30 minutes into the trip. So, need to be able to bring a lot. I've got one bait tank at home, and it's made out of a 5-gallon bucket. And the best success I've had with shad is in it. But what I do, I've hooked a bilge pump to it. The bilge pump sits down in the water, brings water from the river into the bucket. And then I've got a hole cut near the top of the bucket with another hose that runs out. So water comes in, water goes out. It's constantly circulating in there. Shad do better with that than any other container I've tried, because you're constantly filtering out the water. You've got aeration, you've got current, you got all that going in the bucket. But then you got to carry an extra battery. You got to listen to the noise of it all day. Like, it's just a pain. It's a pain to deal with. And so because of that, I don't hardly ever bring it with me. I don't ever use it. What's we got going on right here on this left rod? Something tugged on it a couple times. Has he got it? Oh, he had it. He had it, and he was under me. He's still on there. That bluegill's seen better days, but he's still on there. Send him back down. Yeah, live bait, definitely a challenge. Oh, there we go. Hold on, let me get this one reset. Oh no, y'all lost this one too. Y'all lose more fish. I ain't never lost a fish in my life, but y'all lose them non-stop, it seems like. You probably had that bait and didn't have the hook. That bait there is definitely too big for that hook. It's old chewed up bluegill though. We got him eat again. He's in rough shape. But we had him eat. Let me make sure I got this one set back appropriately now. I need to lower it down a little more. Okay. But yeah, overall, I've enjoyed the hell out of this the last 2 trips. We've managed to land the big fish. These rod holders are working out. Even though I hate gear track rod holders, having the looser drag, lighter tackle, no issues with that. Even when we've had to leave a fish setting today while we worked on another fish, no fear of it getting ripped off. So there's some positives. It's just, I've got to take some time with it, get things kind of dialed in. I'll get there. I'm definitely going to be doing this more though. Even though I'm still fearful of hooking that 100-pound fish and losing it because I got really light tackle, I'm into this enough. Like, even the small fish we've caught today, every one of them's been fun because of the lighter tackle. Fish those size that we've gotten on my heavier gear, I mean, the big one obviously would have been fun. Even some of the smaller fun sizers, we'll call them, the longer skinny fish, they would have been fun on my heavier tackle. But these dinks that we've got, they wouldn't have been any fun at all on the heavier gear because it's just too heavy for them. You're just winching them up basically. They can't pull on it like they can with the tackle we're using today. So I'm gonna be doing some more of this. I don't know how well it's gonna go over for video purposes. Like, I don't know how much interest there is from you all on watching this kind of thing, but I'm into it. And I'm kind of at a point in my YouTube journey here that I don't really give a damn what the audience wants. No offense to you. I obviously, you know, for me to get views, I need you all to be interested in what I'm doing. But I'm kind of at a point now where when I leave my house, instead of going out and trying to do whatever's going to give me the most amount of views that day for video purposes, I'm kind of just wanting to leave my house and go do what I want to do that day and film it. And whoever wants to watch, whoever enjoys watching it, great. If they don't, they don't. And that may mean less views for me, but I'm willing to live with that. So I'm gonna be doing some more of it, whether people like it or not. Hell, that one fish today, the big one that took forever, I may turn that into a video by itself. Put it on my second channel or something. That may be a whole video of itself. It's fitting too, we've got Lawnmower Man on video today. It was too peaceful earlier. We needed Lawnmower Man. I actually need to mow. My yard was pretty well dead until we got that rain recently, and then it perked back up. The weeds did, at least. The grass is still dead, but the weeds, it energized them. So half my yard is brown and half of it's a foot tall. So at least I won't have to mow the whole yard, but I do need to mow. Probably won't do that today though. I think today I'm gonna cut into a watermelon as soon as I get home. I got a hankering for it. I'd ate some watermelon on Facebook a while back and people's giving me hell because I salted it. Oh, here, look here, look right here. That old chewed up bluegill, something's messing with it. Something was messing with it. Let me raise our baits up here. But yeah, watermelon, you know, I'm from the South, man. You eat watermelon here, you salt it. That's how watermelon's supposed to be eaten. You get the sweet and the salty. A lot of people that I guess ain't from the South thought that was crazy. Now, oh, is he eating now? Oh, I pulled it out of his mouth. Let me just reel it up, make sure he's still on there. He's still on there, buddy. He looks terrible. That's the worst looking piece of bait I think I've ever used, folks. It's terrible. But you know what? It's about all we got other than that fried shad that's baking on the floor of the kayak right now, so we're rolling with it. I'm just hoping to get one more fish here, maybe. We'd just like to get one more. I would anyway. You think we will? Tell you what I'm gonna do. Because our bait's so terrible, I don't want to drift down too terribly much further. It's just that much further I got to go back upriver to get to the car. Let's drift down to that next buoy. Once we get down there to it, we're calling it quits, unless we get a fish between here and there. That sun popping out again makes me want to throw in the towel right now. If we had better bait on, I'd be more inclined to stick with it, but I really don't want to go and spend another 20-30 minutes reloading on bluegill, because with that point you come back out and it is so miserable hot. I definitely wouldn't fish much longer after that anyway, so We'll just use what we got here, see if we can bust one more between here and the buoy. I ain't seen nothing though. Even out here, like now, I'm looking up here on this flat. There ain't nothing flipping up there, man. No shad flipping, no nothing. I think the bait, whatever's going on right now. Oh. Again, he tugged on it. Something's got the bait pulled out deeper. Because, you know, the back of the creek there this morning, which apparently the camera wasn't running for, there was nothing back there, no shad flipping, no nothing. Up here on this shallow flat, nothing. I mean, it's just, everything's out deeper. He's still after it. Did you get it this time, fish? Okay, I think maybe now he's got it. Now he's got it. Will he stay with it? He got it. That thing, that bluegill's been chewed up and spit out how many times now? That we still managed to get it eat. That's the worst looking piece of bait I think I've ever used. And it's gonna get us a fish. A blue cat at that. You must have been starving to death down there, blue cat, to eat that terrible looking bluegill. He's got us slime plumb up our line too there. Nasty old fish. Well, folks, let's close it out with a fish right here. Unless this other rod goes down in the next few seconds here, we'll call, well, doggone, I gotta get my pliers on him. We'll just call it quits, but productive day. A lot of fish. We got our big fish, we got a flathead, we got, surprisingly, no break-offs. I will need to, before I fish again with this setup, I definitely got to retie my leader. I probably need to do that on these light tackle rigs. I probably need to retie every single time. That would probably be the prudent thing to do. My normal heavier rigs, man, I never retie. Like I'm bad about that. On my normal heavier tackle stuff, like I'll use a leader, I'll use the same leaders for a month. I usually retie if I got a tournament or something. That's about the only time. That bluegill there was still kicking a little bit. I don't think he's gonna make it though. But tournament situations, about the only time I ever retie on my regular rigs. But this light tackle stuff, we're gonna have to, and depending on the trip and what we're catching, I may have to retie during the trip possibly too if our line gets abraded. I got to be more conscious about that after fish, you know, checking it and stuff. But anyway, y'all, it's been a fun morning. It's getting hot as blazes with that sun baking on us now. It's a damn sauna out here. I'm gonna go to the house, get me a big bowl of watermelon, go home, get this computer, or get the video files on the computer. I wanna see how long that fight was, because it felt like forever, but who knows, you know, when you're in the moment, who the hell knows. But anyway, y'all, if you've stuck with me this long, all the way to the end of the video, thanks. You're a trooper. Appreciate the hell out of you. I do need you to lose less fish and bring a net in the future though. But anyway, thanks for coming with me. I'll see you next time.